We start with a major development in the death of actor Matthew Perry. Law enforcement sources are telling NBC News multiple people are now facing charges in connection to this case. At least
the last time I did ketamine was 15 years ago. Am I really that old? No. Like 12 years. I remember the most wild out-of-body experience I'd ever felt. You know that scene from Men in Black where there's an alien, like a little tiny alien controlling the guy from his brain, and he has like controls inside the brain? That's how it felt to me. I remember walking through the crowd and it was like as if I was sitting right here and I was just like controlling my body as I walked through the crowd. I think the only other time that I've done ketamine, I was at a house party. I drank a whole lot of alcohol with it and ended up throwing up in the middle of the dance floor, passing out on the side of the house. The cops came and my homies basically had to carry me to the car. Hi, my name's Audible484 and I hope you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. Poor Matthew Perry. Could there be any worse way to die? I am joking. That was a bad joke. I take it back. I actually love Friends. I think it's one of the best shows of all time. Hearing this was actually really sad. I remember when I first heard that Matthew Perry died and it was because he drowned in a hot tub, I instantly thought about ketamine or fentanyl or heroin, but you know, it's not that easy to just drown in a hot tub. Hearing that there's people who are being arrested for it is obviously a good thing.
Perry was found face down in a pool at his home last October. The LA County Medical Examiner's Office listed ketamine as the main cause of death and ruled it accidental. Perry was undergoing ketamine infusion therapy to treat his depression as well as anxiety, but his last session took place more than a week before he died.
I am all for ketamine therapy, psilocybin therapy, even MDMA and LSD therapy. I think that in the future, and I've talked about this on the channel a lot, that is going to be a very, very, very important field of medicine. I think that as human beings, unfortunately, there's going to be stories like this that come up because we're human beings. And that's talking about the user and the doctors who are prescribing it. I've heard nothing but great things about ketamine therapy. I've heard how life-changing it is. I've heard how intense it is as well.
Chloe, this is a pretty shocking development. I mean, local law enforcement, federal investigators, they started looking into the source of that ketamine.
Hey, yo, are flowers in now for the ladies? What's up with these flower blouses, yo? What year is it?
And Matthew Perry wasn't just receiving ketamine from one doctor. 5 people were involved. Investigators say this was about making money off of someone's addiction.
That's some fucking bullshit. Of course. Now that makes so much sense. And that shit is so common with rich, famous people who have addictions like this. Basically the same exact thing happened to Peep. Basically the same exact thing happened to Mac Miller. That actually fucking is really sad and pisses me off for real.
When Friends actor Matthew Perry's live-in assistant discovered the 54-year-old dead, face down in his hot tub at his Pacific Palisades home in October of last year, Perry was found to have high levels of ketamine in his blood. Today, 5 people were charged with supplying Perry ketamine, including his assistant, defendant Kenneth Iwamasa.
These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. They knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew what they were doing was risking great danger to Mr. Perry, but they did it anyways.
Lock him up. Lock him up. That's fucking bullshit. How you gonna do that to Chandler, yo? And I'm assuming that he's trying to better himself because he's in ketamine therapy. He must have some sort of, I'm pretty sure he was like an alcoholic for a long time. Yeah, man. Fuck.
Perry, who struggled with addiction much of his life, was reported to have been receiving ketamine infusions for depression and anxiety, and that had to be administered by a doctor in a medical setting. 2 of the defendants are doctors. On numerous occasions, investigators say Dr. Salvador Placentia falsely prescribed, sold, and injected Perry with ketamine.
On one occasion, he injected Mr. Perry with ketamine, and he saw Mr. Perry freeze up and his blood pressure spike.
Hey, that's just a K-hole, dog. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. I'm not defending these fucks, but yeah.
He left additional vials of ketamine for defendant Iwamasa to administer to Mr. Perry. Of course, defendant Iwamasa had no medical training to speak of.
Can you imagine your homie just injecting you with ketamine in your room? Like, what kind of a life do these rich people live? That's insane. That's insane.
Another way Perry was able to obtain ketamine, according to investigators, through another defendant, Eric Fleming, who worked with defendant 41-year-old Jasveen Sanya, known as the Ketamine Queen.
Okay, now this is where it caught my eye. The Ketamine Queen. I'm pretty sure I met a couple girls who had that rave name back in the day. And known to who? Who called her the Ketamine Queen, and how did the news pick that up? Homegirl is like a ketamine drug lord? Yeah, by the look of this lady, nah. Steer clear. Absolutely not. Nope. No thank you.
On October 28th, after reading news reports of Mr. Perry's death, defendant Sanya wrote a text message to defendant Fleming saying, quote, delete all our messages.
You fucked up, Ketamine Queen. You fucked up.
After Mr. Perry's death, defendant Placentia falsified medical records and notes to try to make it look like what he was doing was legitimate.
Oh, these motherfuckers are going down. They really tried to cover it up. Wow. Scumbags, yeah. At the very least, what we could do is use this as a reminder. Make sure that you have the correct set and setting. Now, set and setting also includes the people you surround yourself with. It's tough, though, because who knows what state of mind Matthew Perry was in and people who are addicted are in. They tend to get taken advantage of. Just be careful who your friends are. I didn't. In all seriousness, this is actually a really fucking sad story. I hope that these stupid ass pieces of shit doctors and people who took advantage of him didn't just set back psychedelic therapy after all the progress that has been made in the last, decade or so. R.I.P. to Chandler, and be careful who your friends are. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.